the end of the 5 years, it's clashing. You cannot have both things. You cannot promote free sexual life with your lyrics, and on the other hand, in interviews, you talk about Jesus. It's clashing.
Welcome to a new episode of Most Memorable Journeys. Another exciting guest today, a lady who I had a funny encounter with, because I recently met her at an event in Dubai, and I walked into this room and she was introduced to me, and then I looked at her and I said to her, I know you from somewhere. You know how you say that to people. And we looked at each other and we talked a little bit, where could it have been? And then, of course, she said to me that she used to be on the Swiss television. And of course, it was only me who knew her. She didn't know me because I used to see her on the screen. She used to be a TV presenter. She's a journalist, but she was so many other things before. She was a singer in a band, and she was a participant in the Miss Switzerland elections, I think, if I researched well. Today, she is the president of the Swiss Ladies of Dubai, and we will find out all the other things that she is. Welcome to Most Memorable Journeys, Jeannette Macchi Meier.
Hello, Elisabeth. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so glad that you are here, and I'm so glad that you are taking the time to be here. So let me start with what I always start, this silly question. When do you remember, or when were you the first time on a plane in your life?
I guess I was 16. Yeah, I was around 16 years. It was actually my first travel without my parents. And a good friend of mine joined me, and we flew from Zurich via Creta. So Greece was actually my first flight or journey via the airplane. And there, Creta is a big island. So both of us were interested in motorbikes. So we rented motorbikes there, and we drove along the coast and explored Creta with our motorbikes.
Amazing. Because my first destination as a tour guide was in Rhodos. So I had a motorbike.
Okay.
Yes, I was where I used to go from hotel to hotel on my moped. And when we think of these things, it was actually dangerous. I think some of the stuff.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, but in that age of 16, you don't think about is it dangerous or not? I mean, you just do it, you like the risk, you like the freedom, you like everything. Yeah.
That's very true. So then you, as a young lady, you joined a band. Did you always like singing? How did it start? Did you want to sing? Did you want to become a singer? How did the whole singing journey start?
The singing journey started really pretty back to school. I mean, I always liked to sing, and I always have the best note. I know from my school teacher, he always gave me good notes. And then actually, I remember as well, when I couldn't sleep during the night, I just sang a song, and my mom quite often came into the room and said, Janet, can you be quiet now? It's really late. Stop singing. So, and I started to having an own band, during school time. We were a few friends together, and we built this group, this band, and we had rehearsal in a cellar downstairs. And that was actually the beginning of like a little bit to be a musician. And I also played drums.
You played drums?
Yes, wow. I was actually a drummer as well. Yeah, but a very bad one, because I think that would be a topic for itself as well, because my drum teacher was a Christian, and he started actually to explain me about Jesus and the love of God to everyone. And so I was actually got stuck what he's talking. So actually, instead of teaching me drums, bring me closer to God. So I'm a bad drum teacher.
But at the time, you weren't really interested. We'll talk about that later, but you weren't interested so much yet then, were you?
No, not really. not really.
Yeah. And then, but that wasn't the band that you were traveling.
No, that was not the band. The band was the beginning because you mentioned by the introduction, I joined the Miss Switzerland competition. And although I did not came to the finalist, but a door opens for me because by coincidence, one of the members from the Swiss Miss Switzerland competition, he knew a producer who was looking for a new singer for this existing band. He knew that I'm a singer, that I'm used to do music, and he introduced me with the producer. And so I went for a casting, and suddenly I came in the whole show business, and suddenly I was traveling from 0 to 100 everywhere. So and it was actually fantastic because we traveled to destinations which I never would, would never go by as private person. So we did Russian, a lot of things. We did Finland, we did Litauen, Letland, Germany a lot, Austria a lot. We traveled by bus, we traveled by train, we traveled so many different ways. And at the end of the band, that was 2000, we end up with a promotion tour in Japan. And that was incredible, fantastic. A great experience there.
So one thing that I want to say out of this for people who are listening, something can come out of something that we may be first disappointed. Maybe you were a little disappointed that you didn't end up in the final of the Miss Switzerland elections. But the good thing is this came out, which is probably 10 times better than if you had.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It opens many doors. I mean, it's not, as you said right. I didn't won, but I think what the end, I think I made the better thing.
Exactly.
I got the better out of it, and it was fantastic. Really, I really enjoyed the time, and I think it was from 1995 until 2005 years. I was full time in the show business and met a lot of famous people as well. And Robbie Williams, for example.
Did you? Oh my God, I love him.
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. We traveled together through Germany for different tour events, and yeah.
Are you in touch? Are you in touch with any of these people, or were
no? It's just that time, you know. For example, you travel 1 week through Germany and had all these Radio Regenbogen shows and open air events where it's a bunch of groups all together, and you're in the bus tour bus, and then you have a chat with all those people, but not really continuing with having contact with them.
But it adds to your personality. It adds to the person that you become, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
see things and you think, I would like to be like that, or I would not like to be like that, I think.
Yes, absolutely. That's true.
Yeah, because, sometimes we need to find out what we don't want before we actually know what we want.
Yeah, sometimes you figure out what you want to be while you're on this trip or while you're on this journey, and I think especially I see our life anyway as a journey. It starts somewhere and then you come to a crossroad and then you make the decision, shall I go straight, shall I go right, what shall I do? So life is a journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is a journey. And that's why my podcast is called Most Memorable Journeys. And it's not just about journeys as in travel. It's about life journeys, because so many people we all have a fascinating life journey, but I think it's important to not concentrate too much on the destination, but to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I did.
You did. And I can hear that. You had a lot of fun. Was there anything in these years when you were traveling to all these places, did you ever miss having a stable life, or did you just go with the flow?
Back then, not. But I always thinking, my gosh, my parents, how be scared they must be sometimes, because we were not in that time where we had cell phones. I remember I always sent my parents a fax fax message, telefax message when I arrived somewhere in Russian or I've been once in Novosibirsk,
Oh, wow.
Novosibirsk, Siberian. So we flew with a private jet there, and Novosibirsk, we had a concert in the stadium there. We stayed in the residence of Yeltsin's summer residence. That was our stay to be, and it was pretty cold. It was during winter time, lots of snow. We can imagine in Siberia, but the people still came during the winter.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was really fascinating, but there were sometimes times where I thinking it's quite risky, especially in Russian. It was quite risky at this time. I mean, and we also performed for really diffuse people, honestly. And I want to say the word, but you never know. They were very, very rich people, and you were just to show off. They can afford a band, our band, and for performance, we were safe. But in the other hand, sometimes we were there, and then the tour manager from Russia told us, "Yeah, listen, if you don't do this TV show, you will not get a good hotel." And so, but you just have to be shut up and just do what they want. Because otherwise you never know where you end at the end. So the show business it can be also risky. It's not always fun. It depends where you travel. But as I said, back this time, I just went with the flow. I just enjoyed. I was not afraid. I was just happy to get somewhere, But as I said, my poor parents, yeah, sometimes
and it was exciting for you because
it was very exciting.
I'm thinking the same way about my times as a tour guide because I actually started off when we had a telex. You're younger than I am. And then the telefax came. And I used to call home maybe once every week, every 2 weeks. When you think of it, how we are today, and if we haven't had a message, my kids are grown up, they're both in Switzerland. And sometimes if I haven't had a message for 2 days, I think, oh my God, what happened to them? And we didn't contact our home for a week, for 10 days, but it was normal. Now we are kind of overprotective.
That's true. And we want to have a message immediately. I mean, we have also 2 boys. They are in the teenager age now. And I see it. If it's late night and I haven't got a message from them, where are you? When are you coming home? Give me a message. And oh man, things change.
So think about your poor parents, what they went through with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy I'm still alive.
Me too. So listen, now something bad did happen to you, though. That was still during your time in the band. Was that when you were still?
That was before. That was. I have to say, I mentioned something with my drum teacher, and I get it first in contact with the Christianity, with the faith. So I was, and I didn't grow up in a Christian family, but I never doubted that God exists, actually. But I was not interested in to have a relationship with God or all those Christian communities. And as a teenager, I was really a rebel. I loved hard rock music. I like to drink. And did stuff with we are around 15, 16, which was quite wild. I also was very aggressive at this time. And I think it was just probably a little bit lost with my identity, who I am, because I was in a clique, in a group of people who joined the same music style with me and the same interest. But beside of that, I'm not sure if they were really my friends, but I hang out with them. And so I think my community was not a good influence for me. And one day I remember I went against my parents' approval to Zurich. That was around 15, 16 years old. And then on the way to Zurich, on the train, I started a fight with another girls group. And they called Fly Girls back this time. And Fly Girls and heavy metal girls, which I belong to, they're not matching, they're not friends. And I remember they were standing out of the platform by the train station, and I showed them my middle finger.
Okay, as you
From
do.
As I said, I was a really naughty girl then, and I had no fear, and I was, as I said, quite aggressive too. So, and the fight actually continued in the train, and then we arrived Zurich train station. It exploded at the end. So we were actually verbal, giving each other not the best words, and it ends that the girl, the fly girl, she was also 15, 16. She took a knife out of her pocket, and I was already, I think, 20 meters away of them. And she was running like in a movie with the hands up, and she was running with a screaming towards me, and she stabbed me with the knife. That was in the train station of Zurich. And in the meanwhile, many people stood around us and observed actually the situation. But I was standing there, and went so quickly. And when I remember when I grabbed under my T-shirt and saw the blood on my hand, then I get very weak, and I fall down to the floor. And my friend, she tried to hold up me, and we were looking, searching for help, and people were afraid because of the blood. And there was one man who showed us the police station, the train station, and there I think I get conscious, and we're not really. And then I came emergency to the hospital, and they observed me, and they say, oh, it's just superficial, so nothing really serious. But I had inner bleeding, which was not in the beginning visible. And so my condition got life-threatened, and I have to do an emergency surgery. And because she was 1 centimeter from my heart away.
Oh my God.
And she hit my lung, and another organ was very bloody. And I had a 2-hour surgery, and stayed 10 days in the hospital. And that was quite remarkable for me, because to see who are your friends, if something happened to you immediately or unexpected, and then you see what kind of people are come and visit you. And those friends which I thought would be my friends within all those groups, they never showed up. And that was quite a crisis for me as well, to see, man, who I am and who are my friends. And there was a time when I got released from the hospital where I figure out, who is this Jeannette for real? What do I really like? Do I really like hard rock music? It was a search identity. That was a journey to search myself, what I really want. And my brother is 3 years old, and he had in his room this drum. And I went quite often there in my spare time, because I avoid to go back to Zurich. People or friends of mine from school said, come on, let's go to Zurich, but not 10,000 horses will bring me back to Zurich, because what happened, I had a trauma,
of course.
My last year of school, high school, and all those boys, they were playing with all those knives around it, and to be cool. And I started to play drums in my brother's room. And then I thought, you know what, if you start something, then do it properly. And so that's why I end up to having drum lesson. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I met him, and he was a freak, man. He had long hairs, a cool t-shirt, and he had a big smile, and he had this sparkle in his eyes. And that freak told me about God and about Jesus. And I think, oh my gosh, what kind of is this? But you know what? At the end, when I looking back, for me, it was fascinating, because he had so much joy. He had such a peace. It looks like he came home. People are searching today. They are looking for something. They live a life like, oh yeah, I can do everything today. I mean, I have no limits. I live only once. But at the end, it's not really pure freedom. and in his eyes, I could see he came home.
He was home.
He was home.
Yeah.
And so I start to thinking about and listen to him, and what in the beginning sounds for me very weird and very boring, because I always thinking Christians are very boring people, with all those Birkenstock. Back then, Birkenstock was old-fashioned. Today, Birkenstock
now they're cool. Yes,
they're cool. But back then, all the Christians wore Birkenstock, and so he changed my mind about Christians. But I really loved what his joyful life, and so as I said, he was teaching me about Jesus, about the Christianity, which I never heard in church. There's a God who is interested in me, who loves me, who died for me for my failures. That was for me, and I thought one day in my room, I said, you know what? Actually, I have nothing to lose. I mean, if that God exists, why he not deserve a chance?
Yeah.
Because in our culture, many people looking for answers in all the New Age, in the Buddhism, in so many religions, they searching and searching to find answers, to find why I am here, the purpose of life. But so many, also not so many people give God, the Christian God, a chance. So I was in my room back then, and I was kneeling down, and I said, Jesus, here I am. I mean, if you are here, then let's go on this journey. Take me, take the steer wheel of my life from now on. And forgive me for all the shit which I done. And that was a lot. And it was such a relief, and I felt such a love coming through my body. I cannot explain. I mean, you have to experience that. And since then, actually, that's he became my lifestyle. Jesus is a part of my life. And the funny thing is, when I met my drum teacher the next time, he looked at me and said, Jeannette, did you find Jesus? Did you find God? Did you give your life to him? And I said, why you know that? Yes, I did. And he said, I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I see something changed. Yeah. And it was the nicest compliment that I ever got in my life.
Beautiful. And I think it's very beautiful to have something to believe in, to have something to hold on to, and to speak to somebody when you need to speak to God, who just listens to you.
Yes, absolutely. And that was actually then my journey. From then on, actually, God existed in my life and is still existing. And so far, he never, disappointed
never
me.
Disappointed
me.
And this is also how I know you from television. This was I think it was a weekly Fenster zum Sonntag. It was
every Sonntag, week. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I got the chance later on because I did a Bible study. A 2-year Bible study, and my Bible study teacher actually introduced me to the TV show, and it was on the national TV, Swiss television. So it's a big thing. And he said, look, they're looking for a new host, for a new presenter for this show. Probably you have to go. And so I went for another casting, and I got it. It was incredible that they took me, because as with my band's name, which I traveled 5 years around the world, called E-Rotic. And E-Rotic, the name, as it says, is very, so our lyrics were very sexistic, we talked about sex. And I was a Christian at this time. The funny thing was, because my rebel time, and that is actually very important, that attitude of a rebel didn't change when I gave my life to Jesus immediately. I was still thinking I can do my own thing with Jesus on my backpack. So I did lots of things actually which not belongs to a Christian, I would say. So that's why I end up with this band E-Rotic. And of course I prayed at that time, and I say, oh God, if it's your will, then I will get that job as a singer. But at the end of the 5 years, it's clashing. You cannot have both things. You cannot promote free sexual life with your lyrics, and on the other hand, in interviews, you talk about Jesus. It's clashing. It doesn't work. But at that time, because as I said, I was a rebel. I said, okay, I can read my Bible by myself. I don't need fellowship. I don't have to go to church. What I don't realize was at this time, it took me away actually on the road, on that journey with God. It leads me in a zone of having both, the black and white, and after a while it gets uncomfortable because my inner heart, my spirit was longing for God, to God goes God's way. And my personality, who likes the fame, who likes the stage, wants to continue. So I was really 5 years in a little bit in a clinch, what to do. I tried to combine, but at the end it didn't work. So, and I have to stand again in a crossroad, what I want to do. And after a while, I really realized it doesn't work. I want to give up actually all the show business, which I actually used to have all the 5 years. And I really want to focus another way. And the other way leads me also still in the show business, still the television. I got the television, So God always is not taking away stuff of you. He also have another plan because he knew my heart. He knows actually also a gift. I think I have a gift to perform. I have a gift to present in front of people, and God used my gift in another way. And so I'm very thankful. So I came to this television show on the national television, but I could represent the Christianity, the faith of Christ, and I could meet people who have the same faith, and it's incredible.
It's
so it was
beautiful.
10 years.
And it was a big deal because me, the Swiss woman who lives in Cyprus, recognized you, the Swiss woman who lives in Dubai, because of the Swiss television show. So
it's great. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So that was my 10 years I did this job, and it became my dream job in Switzerland. And that was my last profession before I came to Dubai.
Right. Now, you've been living in Dubai, I think I wrote down, since 2012. Am I correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you go? Why did you move to Dubai? Why Dubai?
You know what? It's funny. Although I traveled a lot the last couple of years, through the band, I always thought I would never live somewhere else than Switzerland.
Yeah.
It was never my intention to live somewhere else than abroad. And I have a husband. I married a husband who is a back traveler, who travels around the world. He's an explorer, and he's also a pilot, and he always was looking for new options, new opportunities. And he always and he finds solutions, and or offers, I would say, in Dubai. And when he came and said, "Listen, honey, we have probably the possibility to move to Dubai," at the beginning, Elizabeth, I tell you, I could hardly, how to say, breathe.
You weren't excited.
I wasn't excited at all. I thought, oh no, what shall I do there? I have a life here. I have another career here, and I like my job, and now Dubai. But you know what? As I said, I involve God in my life. He prepared my heart for the move. It was not me at the end. It was him.
Yeah.
And that was a preparation of 2 years, because I reading the Bible, and God revealed himself via Bible verses that I have to move, and always they come Bible verses like move to Arabia, go and meet other different nationalities. And I was thinking, oh God. And at the end, I think I was really diving in to ask God, do you really want me there? Do you really want me there? And there was one Bible verse I remember when it said, listen, even in the desert, I will support you. I will cover all your desires. And then I was thinking, okay, I give up. I surrender. I follow. And during that time, my husband got the job offer. I cannot say which company. It's not allowed. But
okay.
It's obviously.
He should be on my podcast, though, from what I
Yeah, but they're quite picky.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can count one and one.
I can.
So
Yes.
he got the job offer, and since then we moved to Dubai, and since then we are here. Yes, and
Amazing. And of course, you wouldn't be Jeannette Macchi Meier if you didn't become the president of the Swiss Ladies Dubai, right?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, no.
Did the club exist, or did you start the club?
No, the club was intended back earlier, 2004,
Okay.
even from another lady. And I'm the third president
Okay.
who's leading the social group. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you guys, you ladies get together and you organize events, you organize social events and
Yeah. So the Swiss Ladies Dubai is actually a subgroup from the Swiss Business Council in Dubai. And the Swiss Business Council Dubai connects actually Swiss business, which are related here in the UAE. And the subgroup to Swiss Business Council is a social group where especially for Swiss ladies who join Dubai or Abu Dhabi as well, but Abu Dhabi is quite far from them to travel to Dubai, but just to meet as well other Swiss ladies. Because I remember when I came to Dubai, for example, I was looking to another Swiss community, because we have culture. It's Swiss culture is different to the German culture, to the French culture, to Brazilian culture.
Yeah.
So and I was looking for opportunities to meet other Swiss ladies, and I couldn't find it in the beginning. So I end up with the German community, and then another Swiss lady told me about the Swiss Ladies Club, and so I joined them, and it's very interesting because when you move to Dubai, you have so many questions: which doctors should I go? Which school I should take? And so on. And you want to have your heart language, your mother tongue. You want to speak your mother tongue with other ladies. You want to make friendship with some other ladies, and that's why that group is for. So since I'm president, I organize mornings for ladies who are not working. I organize evenings for meetups. I do special events. It depends what's going on here. And iftar, for example, we do as a Swiss ladies. We do all the cultural thing. Also like to stay connected with for example, Easter stuff. Easter is very hard here in Dubai to celebrate. It's a very Christian celebration. So we do it in private homes. Then we have the Bircher muesli. We do a Swiss Zopf. We do like a officially traditional Easter brunch at someone's home. And it's always a good mood. We are really lovely ladies. And we do it on a monthly basis, which I organize.
That's beautiful. I'm going to put the link to your website of the Swiss Ladies Dubai in the show notes, because where I write everything about you. And so we're coming to the end. Time flies when you're having fun. What's next for you? Dubai for now. Your kids, your teenage boys are at school. They are settled. I imagine. They have their friends.
Yes. Yeah, they have their friends. They are really occupied. They are very into sports. Both of them are included in football. So every day, actually, they have football lessons and training. And on the weekend, they have match. So I become also a football mom on the weekend, on the sport field. So I still doing also like counseling with people at church. I still singing at church here in Dubai. I'm visiting a free church here in Dubai, and I'm involved there. So I'm not bored, honestly. And what next? No, actually, I cannot say what next. I'm open for everything, but there's not much space at the moment. God has to give me something.
Well, you look very happy to me. So I think at the moment you're nice where you are and happy where you are.
I'm balanced.
Yes. Yeah. And then you see things change because my kids have grown up. Once they leave, a new door will open.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes. Yeah. No, but we as a family, we are still happy here. We don't know when the time is over. It's always a question, of course, but at the moment we're always thinking what's the best for the kids. Mm-hmm. Our older one has 2 more years, and then he's finished here with the A levels, it's called. And then he has the opportunity to go to the universities, wherever. We don't know. We
That's
don't know.
fine. We
So
don't
far, we
always
still
need to
enjoy.
know. Time will
That's
show.
true.
Yes.
Exactly. Take
Time
day
will
by
show
day.
and God will show and a door will open, the right door will open, and we'll just
True.
have to go through it. You see, this is the thing that I often say when you do a job like you do or I do. I'm a life coach as well. And, we can only open doors for people. They have to go through it themselves.
Yeah, they have to open the door. Yeah.
Yeah. So
go through, because doors are open.
We can open
sometimes.
it, but they have to go through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it. Jeannette Macchi Meier, I am so happy to have spent time with you. I'm so happy that I met you in Dubai on that morning. And
likewise, it was coincidence, but in a good way.
Exactly. Thank you very much, and all the best. You are looking forward to a cooler winter. It is autumn now in Dubai and not so hot anymore.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely. The weather is pleasant now.
Perfect. If you enjoy my podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You will find all the information in the show notes.